This is gonna be torture. If that intro isn't clear, today I have a really bad episode I'm reviewing today. That's right, I'm reviewing the season 12 premiere of the TV series Thomas and Friends, Thomas and the Billboard. Oh my god, do I have a lot to say about how stupid this episode is. First, let me talk about the plot. So, a photographer comes to the island of Sodor to take a picture of all the engines together because it was Knapford Station's birthday. Sounds interesting enough. But then, the photographer tells the engines to move, and he instructs Diesel to move forward, which thus blocks Thomas from view. So throughout the rest of the episode, Thomas tries to make sure everyone can get into the photo in the correct position so he can be in frame. And then later on, he knocks the billboard into the lake, causing mass confusion and delay. So Tom Hat rightfully gets mad at him for making him mess everyone up. So at the end of the episode, the photographer takes the picture. Thomas asks Sir Topham Hatt if he could do Diesel's jobs and Diesel could collect the new billboard. Sir Topham Hatt thinks it's a great idea, and Diesel thinks so too. So at the end of the episode, Thomas works very hard doing all of Diesel's jobs, and Diesel collects the new billboard just in time for the celebration. And then the episode ends. That's the start of it. Where does my hatred really stem from? The fact that the CGI is so outdated. I mean, come on. If this was made in like 2026, then the CGI would have actually looked better. But no, this was made back in 2008. CGI was really primitive at the time. So thus, the CGI faces either kept changing size, didn't look right, or really could not be motion tracked properly. And they're so inconsistent of when to use CGI faces in this episode. One scene has them being angry with their model faces, and then later on it has them angry with their CGI faces. Come on, make up your mind already. It's a typical three strikes formula plot, which I really do not like seeing in my Thomas episodes. But worst of all, throughout the episode, Thomas thinks that Diesel went in front of him in the photograph on purpose. But in reality, Diesel was merely said that the photographer told him to move forward. Why is Thomas so idiotic and boastful throughout the episode? Also, when Michael Brandon was recording one of his lines for Sir Topham Hatt, he almost suffered a fatal heart attack. I mean, come on! I wished Pierce Brosnan, who narrated Great Discovery, came back, but no, he did not. He was axed from the show. So, yeah, this episode truly ruins my favorite show and sticks it in fire. I mean, come on. The episode is just boring, stupid, or just completely against Diesel for literally no reason whatsoever. How did this episode get approved? Let's compare that to a Beavis and Butthead episode, No Laughing Part 1. That episode had a three strikes formula plot as well, with Beavis and Butthead in 3 different classrooms and then getting kicked out. But in that episode, it at least tried to be funny. Like the part where Mr. Stevenson is trying to do attendance, and when he says butt kiss, that actually got a laugh out of me. But in here, Thomas and the Billboard literally fails at all of that. So that's why I say this is the worst episode of Thomas and Friends in existence, and I don't ever want to see it again. So for that reason, I give it a 0 out of 10. Do not waste your time watching this episode. Chances are, you're going to wind up hating it just like I did. And also, did I forget to mention that like I said, CGI would have been more dated better if it was made later, but no, it seriously looks its ugliest in this season and that year too. So yeah, there you go. Thomas and the Billboard gets a 0 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in a much better video. Bye.